Hi everyone, Miss Turdick here and welcome to Yoga at Home number 6. I hope that you've enjoyed my other videos, and Yoga at Home number 6 will build on some of the poses that we've learned in the previous videos. Before you get started, you want to make sure that you have a trusted adult to supervise you or to participate alongside you. You should probably be doing yoga inside in an open space, either on a yoga mat if you have one or on a carpeted surface. If you're in a room with furniture, just take a few minutes to push the furniture aside. Make sure you're in comfy clothes that are easy to move in. You're welcome to take off your socks and participate in bare feet. Doing yoga in running shoes is probably not such a good idea. Have a water bottle handy just in case. And if you're somebody who's noticed that you need some support while doing some of the poses that we've done before, have something like a roll of paper towels or a pillow handy that you can use to support yourself as you're working through your yoga practice. So as we always do, let's get comfortable in Savasana on our mats. So we all know Savasana, it's our resting pose, so we're going to spread our legs out wide, our arms out wide on our mats, and take some long breaths in and some long breaths out. Now you're welcome to spend as long as you like in Savasana, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to spend too long here. So from Savasana, we're going to transition into a child's pose. Now, if at any time during the practice things become a little too much for you, you feel tired, discomfort, or pain, come into Savasana, or you can come into a child's pose. So there's two versions, and we're going to show you the version with your legs together, or there's a version with your legs apart, about mat width apart, and you're going to lower your backside to your heels, stretching out your arms and your shoulders on your mat. You can stay as long as you like in child's pose, but once you feel like you've had enough of child's pose, come out of child's pose and transition into tabletop position so you're ready to do cat-cow. So for cat-cow, we're going to begin with our cow, so arching your back and looking up towards the ceiling. Okay, now we're going to reverse that in cat, so making the shape of a Halloween cat with our back. Moving into cow again. Moving into cat. So do that a couple times just to loosen up the muscles of your back, loosen up the bones in your spine. Okay, from there we're going to transition into a downward dog or upside down V shape. So for that you can come high onto your toes and lower your heels down as far as they'll go. Now if they don't touch the ground, that's okay. Just work to get them as low as you feel is comfortable. You'll feel a nice stretch across the backs of your legs, in through your shoulders. Come high onto your toes again. You can pedal out your legs, sway your hips back and forth. Do any movement that feels comfortable to you. Now from there, we're going to bend our knees and we're going to walk our feet to our hands, and we're going to come into a forward fold. So for forward fold, just let your head, neck, and shoulders hang. Reach for opposite elbows. You can sway back and forth just to loosen up those muscles that tend to hold a lot of tension. From there, lower your hands to the mat, coming into a halfway lift. So palms to shins. Looking forward, lowering back down into our forward fold, and then raising our arms up, interlacing our fingers, toes together, ankles together, knees together, thighs together, looking up and coming into a crescent moon on the right side. So we're stretching out those muscles in our rib area, stretching out our shoulders. You can take some breaths in, some breaths out, and gradually deepen your crescent moon. Transitioning slowly over to the left side, same thing. We're stretching out our muscles on the right, feeling a nice stretch. From here, returning to center, let's keep our hands up, and we're going to bring our right arm underneath our left, coming into eagle's pose. Now I'd like you to try your best to keep your arms like so in eagle's pose, but if that is a challenge for you and you absolutely cannot do it, okay, simply bring your right arm underneath your left like so. Okay, I'm coming back to our twisted eagle arms, and I'm going to lower my bum down. I'm going to lift up my right leg, bringing it over my left. And we're going to take eagle's pose. Now remember, we want our elbows aligned with our face. We want our back as straight as we can make it. We'll feel a nice stretch across our back if we do so. And we can bend our knee a little deeper, sitting a little deeper. Now from here, this is new. We're going to do a little ab workout. You're going to bend your elbows forward and then bring them back up again. Okay, coming down. And this helps to build strength in your core or your tummy muscles. We'll do that one more time. And coming back up. Now, we're going to bring our right foot, place it behind us, coming into warrior one pose with eagle arms. So you notice how my feet are planted on my mat. I've got my back leg straight. I'm going to bend my front leg. My toes in the back are pointed towards a 2 o'clock position. My left toes are pointed forward. Warrior one with eagle arms. Now from here, we're going to bring our arms out and we're going to transition into warrior two. So right leg is aligned with the back of your mat, or if you're on a carpet, your toes are now pointed directly towards the right hand side of your room. And you're going to bend into that front leg, warrior two pose. Turn your palms to the right, lower your left palm to your left knee, coming into a triangle pose. From triangle, returning back to warrior two. Try to increase the depth of your lunge. We're going to try something new, a wide-legged forward fold. So to do this, hands to your hips. You're going to turn your toes so that they're now both facing the right-hand side of your room, and you're now sideways on your mat. What we're going to do is bend down into a forward fold. Now for this, if it becomes a challenge and you're not able to comfortably reach the floor, that's where your paper towels come in handy. So if this is an issue for you, place your paper towels in front of you, and you're going to bend at your waist slowly, and you can lower your hands to your paper towels and keep them there. Now, if this feels too easy for you, you can either roll your paper towels on the side or eliminate them altogether, putting your hands on the ground. Now, if you feel like you need more of a stretch than that, you're welcome to come down to your forearms, like so. Now you can reach your hands behind you
And this gives a nice stretch to your forearms. Or you can bring your hands to your ankles, like I'm doing here, and you'll feel a wonderful stretch for your inner leg area. Okay, this is a wonderful, wonderful stretch. One of my favorites. Okay, so now we're going to transition, coming into a flow. So watch very carefully. I'm going to turn on my toes, taking my hands and placing them in front of me. So you see now my left toes are pointed towards the top of my mat. My right toes are now pointed towards the top of my mat. I'm going to bring my left foot back. Now I'm in plank. From here, I'm going to lower slowly and come into our upward dog to downward dog transition. From there, we can bend our knees and spring to the top of our mat. Let's do a halfway lift. We're going to repeat that all over again on the opposite side. Inhaling our arms up. So, left arm under right, like so. Or if that's not comfortable, left arm under right, like this. Now from here, eagle's pose. So toes together, ankles together, knees together. Lower your seat. Pick up your left leg. Bring it over the right and squeeze. Elbows aligned with your face. Hold eagle's pose for a little bit. Now if that feels uncomfortable or you come out of it, take either Savasana or child's pose. And if it's just a matter of balance, keep persevering. So from here, coming into our core work. And again, if you lose your balance while doing the core work, just keep trying. And you can do this as many times as you like. I'm going to do it 3 times each side, just for the sake of the video, but you could do it 5 times, 7 times, whatever you would like. Now returning back to eagle. Okay, from eagle, we're coming into warrior 1 with eagle arms. So step your left foot back, toes point to 10 o'clock on the left side, and our right toes point to 12. Okay, so we're bending our front leg, keeping our back leg straight, maintaining our eagle arms in warrior 1. Now from there, release, arms come up. Let's transition to warrior 2. So heel toe, your left leg back, toes either in line with the back of your mat or the back of your room. Right toes pointed forward, arms out, looking out over our fingertips in warrior 2. Now if your arms are scrunched up like this, just breathe. Relax and lower those shoulders. Coming into warrior 2. Now triangle on this side, palms turn and face the left. Lower your right palm so it's in line with your right knee. And look up at your left hand. This is a great, great stretch for your legs, your sides, your arms. I feel a stretch in my fingers too. Coming back to warrior 2. Okay, now our wide-legged forward fold on the left. So hands to our hips, turning both sets of toes to the left. Now, this is going to be a shoulder stretch. So if it feels uncomfortable for you, do what we did on the right side. If you know you've got fairly flexible shoulders and you don't feel any pain or discomfort, simply interlace your hands behind you, okay? So our hands are interlaced behind us. We're gonna bend at our waist, bend your knees slightly, and you're gonna come forward like so, so that you feel a nice stretch in your shoulders. Now you can remain here for as long as you like. If you're somebody who does have very flexible shoulders like I do, you might be comfortable here for a while. When that becomes uncomfortable, simply disconnect your fingers, lower them down to your mat, and from here, we're going to transition into our flow. So turning our hands to the front of our mat, positioning our right toes towards the top, so our toes are pointed forward, left toes are pointed forward. They're at the back of our mat. We're gonna bring that right leg back. Now you see I'm in my plank pose. From plank, I'm gonna slowly lower. Coming into upward dog. Rolling on our toes to downward dog. Now from here, we're going to again bend our knees, spring to the top of our mat, halfway lift, and forward fold, letting your head, neck, and shoulders hang. Now for this, we can do a stretch for our wrists if we've been doing a lot of texting or gaming. So lift up your feet. You're going to stand on your hands coming into gorilla. Now if gorilla doesn't work for you, you can simply take your peace fingers, so these two fingers, and you can wrap them around your big toes, coming into your forward fold. Now from here, we're going to inhale our arms up, bring our hands to heart center, and now we're going to come into our runner's lunge. So runner's lunge, we know all about that. Let's do right foot forward, left foot back. Noticing that my left leg is straight. I have a bend to my right knee. Now if you want, you can keep your hands on that right knee like so, or you can bring your arms back. I'm going to take a few breaths in our runner's lunge. Now this is a different transition. We're going to take our hands, bring them to heart center, coming into a prayer twist in a lunge position. So left elbow to right knee. And you'll feel a nice twist across your shoulders. Returning to center, lowering our hands to our mat, right foot back. This time we're going to do our flow using Cobra's pose. So coming down, coming into Cobra, planting our hands, rolling on our toes, downward facing dog. Okay, let's spring forward. Okay, this time, halfway lift, left foot back, right foot forward. I think we might have done that. So let's do left foot forward, right foot back, coming into runner's lunge. Let's bring your arms back. Now you're also welcome to leave your arms on your knee if you'd like. Just make sure your back leg is nice and straight. Now from here, our transition for prayer twist, bringing our hands to heart center, right elbow to left knee, and coming into our twist. So you want to have your heart which is here, aligned with your palms. Okay, returning to center, lowering your hands. Let's do another flow involving cobra. So back to our high plank pose, okay? And again, if high plank's too much, you can always lower your knees, okay? That's an option. Lowering down, tummy and legs touch the mat at the same time. Cobra. Palms to the ground. Returning to downward dog. You can pedal out your legs. And now we're going to come into a seated position and getting ready for the floor aspect of our practice. So we're going to begin simply with thread the needle. So lay back on your mat and we're going to elevate our right leg, flex your foot, bring your foot in line with your knee on the left side. This is thread the needle. You can deepen the stretch by pressing on that right leg. If this feels too easy, you can interlace your fingers through the space you've created, elbow to your right leg, and coming into thread the needle. For an even deeper stretch, simply rock a little bit to the left. Great stretch to open the hips. You do want to keep your neck and your chin tucked. You don't want to have your chin pointed up towards the ceiling. Okay, to come out of it, lower the left foot down, lift up the right leg, and lower the right leg. Opposite side, left leg comes up, flex the foot, line your heel up with your knee on the right. And again, you can press into that fleshy part of your leg right here. You don't want to press into the knee, so press into that fleshy part here. And again, you'll feel a stretch through your hip, through here. Now, if that's feeling too easy and you want a deeper stretch, reach through that space you've created, working to keep your head, neck, and shoulders on the ground. Okay, for an even deeper stretch, tip to the right, like so. Okay, coming out of it, lowering the right foot, lowering the left, and coming up to a seated position. I'm going to teach you a new pose today that we have not yet done. It's called scorpion. So you guessed it, just like the scorpions that live in the desert, we're going to take that pose. So you do this pose from your tummy. Now what you want to do is position yourself on your mat. So you can come into a plank and you can slowly lower down. This is great for building strength. Now from here, you're going to take your arms like so. So I'm going to make sure that my palm and the inner part of my forearms on both sides are facing down on my mat. And I'm going to tuck them underneath my body. Okay, so I'm not sure. I'm hoping that you can see how my arms are underneath me. So it's my palms and the inner part of my forearm that are down on the mat. Now from here, I'm going to keep my feet together and I'm going to focus my eyes towards my mat and I'm going to pretend like my feet are a scorpion's tail. So this is our scorpion pose, and you may feel your muscles quivering. That's just them working and getting stronger. Scorpion pose. So push up. You can take a downward dog, lowering your feet, and coming to a seated position. Okay, from here,
Okay, so now we're going to come into a seated twist. So you're going to stretch out your right leg long, and you're going to tuck your left foot inside your right leg like so. You might want to flex your right toes. And we're going to bring our forearm down, tucking our thumb underneath our calf. And you want to make sure that your forearm is lined up with your leg. Now from there, you're going to bring your left arm up and over for a nice stretch all the way through your sides and into your back. Now from here, we're going to come into my favorite pose, well, one of them, joy pose. Bringing our left arm down like a kickstand behind us, pushing up on our heel, and then elevating our hips and our bum, and then bringing your right arm back and pointing your fingers towards the space behind you. Joy pose, lowering down. Okay, coming into the opposite side. So we're going to stretch our left leg out long for our twist, bringing our right foot into our left leg like so, bringing our left arm down, thumb underneath our calf, forearm lined up along our leg, and we're going to inhale the right arm up and over, so we're getting that nice stretch into our sides. We're going to lower our right hand down like a kickstand behind us, pushing up into our left foot, bringing our left arm behind us, coming into joy pose on the left side. Notice how my bum and my hips are elevated from my mat. Left fingers point towards the wall or space behind you. Coming out of joy pose and lowering down. Now it's time to come into our reclined spinal twist. Coming into our reclined spinal twist, so you want to lay down on your mat, scooch your right leg and the right side of your bottom over to the right hand side of your mat, bringing your legs over like so. And again, if this is uncomfortable, you could put your paper towels or pillow in that spot. Extend your arms and look out over your right hand. And again, spend as long as you like in this pose. It's good for your lower back. Okay, when you're ready, come out of this. Position your feet on the mat. So now we're going to scooch our left leg and our left bum cheek over to the left. And we're going to bring our left leg on top of our right. And again, paper towels if needs be in the spot you've created. And you're going to look out over your left hands. Okay, to come out of that, scoot your bum back to the middle of the mat. We're going to end our practice today in a reclined cobbler's pose, as I'm doing now. We've done this many times before. And you can put your right hand on your tummy, your left hand on your heart. You can take a few long inhales and exhales in this pose. And you can really spend as long as you want in this reclined cobbler's pose. When you feel like it's time to come out of reclined cobblers, you can extend your legs out long on your mat. And you may wish to keep your hands in place with right hand on your tummy, left hand on your heart. If you don't want to do that, simply bring your arms out wide beside you, palms facing up, let your feet splay.
Long breath in and long breath out. Taking time for yourself. And maybe as you're lying in Savasana, taking the time to be thankful for the things in your life that you have. A roof over your head, clothes to wear, food to eat, people who love you. So thank you for joining me for yoga at home number 6. I hope you enjoyed our practice, and I look forward to seeing all of you really soon. Take care and namaste.